How's it going, guys? My name is Mr. Fizz and welcome to the channel. And does Fuze need buffs of any kind? In my personal opinion, I think he does. And it's a really tricky situation with Fuze because Fuze in general is supposed to be this fragger support operator, and he's also supposed to be a gadget destroyer, and all of those are in the exact same category. So messing with his gadget or messing with his secondary gadgets would really interfere with those roles. And it's going to be really tricky to actually buff Fuze that actually have some logical sense to them. So I'm going to go ahead and name off a couple of the buffs that I personally agree with. And I definitely think Fuze, as of right now, he's in a good place, but he could be better. And I'm going to go ahead and give you my ideas of how I would buff Fuze. Okay, so first things first is I definitely think a speed change is needed with Fuze. I talked about this in my operators for beginners heading into ranked. I talked about this. All I said that Fuze really needed is a speed change, and I am still with it 100%. Fuze in general is really difficult to move around the map, so I definitely think making him 2 armor 2 speed would kind of make this a little better for him. It wouldn't be this drastic change that would absolutely change Fuze in the way he is forever. I thought the speed change for Jaeger was going to be groundbreaking, and it really wasn't. In fact, it was kind of the exact opposite. It probably made him more powerful in certain people's eyes. So again, this probably won't change Fuze at all. It make him feel a lot more lightweight, and I definitely think that's the right step in direction if we're trying to buff Fuze. Now, if I did change his speed personally, what I would do is I'd have to nerf a couple of things. I would go ahead and remove his shield. This would make some controversy around the community because, some people paid for Fuze Elite set and it came with a shield. If you make him a 2 armor 2 speed, it doesn't really make sense on an operator who has an amazing gun and an amazing gadget. Blitz for himself is a 2 armor 2 speed, but he only has a shield and a pistol. So go ahead and get rid of his shield, and that would nerf him down a little bit to make him more balanced. But another thing I would nerf down if I did make the speed change to Fuze, and that is nerf his AK-12. His AK-12 is one of the best guns in this game, right next to the C7E. It by far excels in terms of being a great weapon, and nerfing that would kind of eliminate those "oh my gosh, he's so overpowered" comments and get rid of them. So nerfing down his AK-12 and also nerfing down his loadout by removing his ballistic shield and also buffing a 2 armor 2 speed would really, and I mean really, make a difference, and you can definitely see more play to Fuze. Fuze in general right now is played a lot in ranked and in casual, and he can be really good in some certain people's hands. But I don't think a lot of people want to try out Fuze just because of his weight. And again, like I said, 2 armor 2 speed will make him feel a lot more lightweight and him to go around the map easier and traverse. I mean, he's a good operator, but he, could definitely be better. All right, and the last thing I agree with, and the last thing I could definitely see working out for Fuze, is to make his cluster charges kind of spread out more. Fuze's cluster charges, as of right now, go into a little bit of a small area. It's not that large. Turn down the damage a little bit, the hockey pucks, and let them spread out a little bit more. It would decrease damage, very similar to a Capcan trap, and it would scare the absolute hell out of the defenders. So maybe do that. Spread out the hockey pucks out more, make them do less damage, and that would really make a difference because it wouldn't kill them, but if they had low health, it would injure them. So definitely would like to see that happen. Now I'm going to talk about a couple other ideas that I think are absolutely ridiculous and that they don't need on Fuze. Fuze needs to be able to place cluster charges on reinforced walls. This would kind of be horrible. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. The reason why I think it'd be horrible is because we already have enough bandit counters right now, and in ranked, he would partially be impossible to actually, be successful with. Okay, you're on Canal, right? You have a Capital, a Thermite, a Fuze, Habana, and Maverick. Okay, so now that you have these guys on your team, there's really no way for a bandit to successfully bandit trick the wall and radar room. There's literally no way, and on top of that, he now has a cluster charge that goes through reinforced walls and will completely kill the bandit. So that is kind of horrible, and it'd really get rid of bandit's utility. I definitely don't see where they're coming from with this. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't need to happen, and it's kind of unrealistic. Not for this idea whatsoever. and I presumably hope you guys don't want to see it either. It's really ridiculous, and I don't agree with it whatsoever. All right, next is another buff, and I agree with it somewhat, but it might be a little tricky in some situations, and it might be a little broken. So the buff idea is that fuse charges can go through reinforced walls, on the exception that there's a Cali hole. So that means there would be Cali and fuse picked every single rent game, and that would honestly be kind of scary to see. I kind of see where they're coming from with this. It's something that uses up the attacker's utility, and in some certain way it uses up 2 picks, but it would probably be overpowered. And it's not a bad idea, but it's not a great one. And I definitely don't agree with it whatsoever, because it'd probably be a little too overpowered. Alright, so we just talked about Fuze and how we would buff him. Let's recap. I think Fuze needs to be buffed to a 2 armor 2 speed. He needs to lose his ballistic shield to balance that out. And on top of that, the AK-12 needs to be nerfed in terms of the recoil and magazine size. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to support it. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. So please support it if you are new to the channel. But other than that, I'll see you guys next video.